What is going on, brother? Make sure this is all working. Of course, this isn't our normal stream. This isn't the stream where we've got the shows going on and we got the things going on. What we are going to do, and a lot of people missed this yesterday. I posted it in the Discord, but Sped came through with a huge donation, so easily quadrupled the number of the number of our goal to hit. And so I really wanted to do this a little bit earlier, but we are going to do it right now. We are going to create the universe the way it should be created. You can do this with yours too. This is like a step by step. If you really want your universe to work, I'm going to show you a couple different things and a couple different ways to do this, but this is what you do when you go in and you do the thing. So, and I know what it is. A lot of people, they step up. I'll even move this out of the way for right now. But I know a lot of people step up and they're like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. This is how you create the universe mode. No. If it doesn't take you hours to create your universe mode, and I mean hours, something's wrong. And I'm going to show you why. Like, I never got, hey, what's going on? Matt Storm, welcome to the stream, brother. Bama, welcome to the stream, of course. Matt Storm, the brand new WCW NWO world champion. Like, probably the fastest guy to do it, too. I haven't really gone back and looked, but I think you were the fastest guy that did it. I give people shots all the time, like these Money in the Bank shots, and typically they don't win. Matt Storm won, and then which kind of gave him a shot at the United States title, and then he used it. So, yeah, good job. Really good. But, yeah, so what we're going to do, you start here, right? We're going to go into Universe, and we're going to go into New. Now, you need your belts created. We're going to do slot 3. But you need your belts created. You need your wrestlers created. You do not create teams at this point. All you need your shows, you need your arenas, you need your wrestlers. All of those created. Okay? We're going to go into classic mode because we don't want one thing and immediately it's May, week 1, Monday. Let's go in and look at the calendar. First thing you do, unless you plan on using Raw and NXT and whatever, you can skip this step. But the very first thing you do, I delete all these shows, all of them. Get deleted. So NXT is gone. And I'll show you what we're doing. We're going to set up a complete, created universe. So a lot of people I know out there, we've got a lot of creators that create basically created wrestler universes, right? So that's kind of what we're going to go after. But you can do it with anything. All these rules apply with everything. But we come in here, see right now this one, this NXT, whatever, but all the PLEs honestly got to go. Now, if you were going to create whatever it is you're going to create, we're going to recreate WCW, obviously, but it could be anything. It's not going to let me delete Raw right here, I don't believe. Delete. Yeah, can't be deleted. You need one show, right, in order to do whatever. But you can see right now, all these pay-per-view events need to be deleted. All of them. And what's crazy, this is step 1. This is just the first thing you got to do. And a lot of people don't realize this. And they think, oh, okay, I get it. Create the shows and you do it. No, there is a lot more to do. We've got a lot of things we've got to do with this. And don't get me wrong, we could be here all day deleting the things. I'm not going to do it. Delete all the things. But you get the idea. You got to keep going until it's like, hey, do you want to go to next year? No, you don't. You don't want to go to next year. So anyway, you keep going out. Let's just look. Did we get less or more? Yeah, we got less. Maybe we can just go through and do this real quick. But yeah, step number 1, delete everything. I typically leave the Monday night shows for a second. And I'll show you, we're going to delete Raw too, because this isn't going to be for Raw. But I'm going to show you exactly how I set up. And if you guys have questions, ask the questions right here in the stream. If you guys are like, oh, well, why are we doing this? And I haven't said it, ask the questions. I'll tell you. I'll tell you why we're doing it. And this is huge. You guys can do it right now. I suggest, unless you've got 3 universes and you're at home, take your phone or whatever device you're watching this on, and just, you can go right along with me and do the thing. Okay, December's done. Let's get January, March, April, May. January, February, March, April. Yeah, so we'll do it. I'm going to do it. We're going to delete everything. And I'm even going to show, we're even going to do things even a little bit different than I really set up the WCW. Because I think next year we are going to have our 2 main shows, and we are going to have an NXT-like show. When new wrestlers come on, that's where they'll go. Kind of like the WWE. If you're going to get a call up to the main roster first, you're going to wrestle. It'll make it easier for people to see themselves. Like, it'll be easier for you to see yourself wrestle. But right now, like we just saw that the last show that we had, you got to win a world title really to honestly be up in that. I know a few guys have got shots that haven't won a world title, but really to be in the Universal title picture, you should be winning. You should have won the world or had a really long run as the U.S. or the TV champion. Like, you know, I'm not saying it has to be the world, but you see right there, we get to April. If you're looking at the screen right now, right next to April, you can see L1 and R1 is removed. It's not there. So we've gone as far as we go. Now look, blank screen. Now we're back to May. So because we're going to create, but this could be any show. I just like putting my shows on Monday and on Thursday. And you're going to see why here in a second. But I put it on Monday, Thursday. So we come down here. We're going to add our show. It's going to be a major show. Custom show. Because it's not going to be a Raw, SmackDown, NXT. It's going to be a custom show. And we're going to let him tell us about nothing. Hey, when you're adding the shows, you do the whole, whatever he's talking about, we're about to do it, but we're going to do it better. So first thing we do, we come in here, show details. The show name is going to be Thursday. You can put night if you want to, but just Thursday Thunder. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to find my Thursday Thunder arena, right? Go into your custom arenas. I'm going to find my Thursday Thunder. I've got a couple different ones. Which one do I want to use? I want to use version 2. So now I've got that. I can come in here. I'm going to pick my, I don't want it to be Charles Robinson because this, they can say whatever they want, but Thunder was always like a secondary show. I could come in here if I wanted. You can pick any referee. It doesn't really matter. We could pick a WCW referee if we wanted to. Let's pick this guy. Location, I'm going to keep it as custom, but you can come in here. Like, you could really get in on, no, I don't want to go to Alaska. I don't want to go here, but I do want here. You can get, but I just leave that custom. Right now, there's no show opener, so, like, I don't think that matters. I hope it matters next year. But right now, it does not matter. I'm going to go into my custom images. I want this to be my Thursday Thunder show image, so when I see it, I know what show I'm talking about. Now, you can put this, but we're going to talk about something else. I just don't have a thing yet, but you can put that, or like you could come down here really, and instead of putting the Thunder logo down there, if you wanted to, you could honestly put a WCW logo down there, right? You could do anything you want. You could be as creative as you want to be with this. Now, because there isn't a Thunder, you got to go into elements. We're going to have to use one of these Thunder. That looks kind of thunderish, you know what I mean? So we're going to go into here, into the elements again. I'm going to make them all line up. For me, I like them all to line up. But this means that no, I'm not going to have a pay-per-view. I'm not going to have anything else that has that element, because you want your pay-per-views feeling different. You can do what you want. Again, everything's up to you. I'm going to move this. I always put it on Nitro, but again, I'm the announcer, so you can't hear it anyway. You know what I mean? No filter on the screen. We got everything we want there, so we got the basics down. Now we got to come in here with our championships. Yep, it's going to tell us, oh, you can do whatever. Now there's a huge thing here. In 2K24, you can actually wrestle and hold any belt. It used to be like you could wrestle for any belt, but after you won it, if it wasn't assigned to a show, gone. Your guy wouldn't actually hold on to it, and you'd have to keep assigning it and keep assigning it and keep assigning it. Now you don't have to do that. But if you want a Money in the Bank briefcase to work, you have to do it in the show. And whatever the money in the briefcase, wherever it's at, it's going to be money in the briefcase for slot number 1. So because this is going to be our secondary show, like you know how we do things. We've got the men always fighting for the TV title on Nitro, the women always fighting for it on Thunder. It can be reversed. You do it again, whatever you want. But that's how we do it. So I come in here. You have to assign at least one championship. What's going on, Blaze Radio Iffy? Welcome to the stream as well. So you come in here. You find your world title. And you guys know we have a Universal. You just saw the shows where we have the Universal title, but that isn't a WCW title. So we got to come in here, and I want to find my women's world title because I want to have a Money in the Bank. Who's our women's title holder? Aussie right now, right? So, highly suggest you've got to pick somebody, right? It won't let you not pick anybody. However, if you leave this person in here when you're first starting off your universe mode, now if you're continuing like we continue, you got to kind of do it. But it won't count. Even if she wins the first match, the first title match, it won't count if she's holding the belt, like as her winning in the stats. It'll count in the days. It won't count as the number of wins. So I'm a little weird about that. So when I start out, I try not to. I assign them all because I need to know who they are, and then I remove the champions. But it's neither here nor there. Now, when we come down here to our Money in the Bank slot, I can come in here, choose the Money in the Bank. You can see it's automatically the target championship is the WCW Women's World Championship, which is in slot number 1. Okay? All you need to start this show, and I don't know how I want my titles to go yet, but I know in my second show, in my second major show, I need it to be for the Women's World title. So I can save that. Number of matches, the max number of matches in a non-pay-per-view is 9, and that's what we run. We run 9. Now, you also have to have some participants. Now, I don't want to put all the participants in right now. Maybe you want to split the roster like they do in I don't do that, but I know right now I need a few of the people, so I usually take about the first 10 people I can find for now, and I just assign them to the show. Who else? There. Okay. Because right now, that's not even important. Even the match table right now isn't important, but this is how granular you can get. So I know right away, and you can go back and you can always change the matches, but when the computer is making the matches, it is going to go based off your match table right here. So what I like to do is come in here, get rid of all that stuff, unlimited on that. That can be a main event. It can be for a championship. I'm I'm just going to say 100%. And again, I can do whatever I want, right? Doesn't really matter. I want tag teams limited to 2. There's 9 matches, so I'm going to limit that to 7. And then this 60, what? 7%. Yes, 67%. We'll call it good for now. For now. You can even get down to the match types on the 1-on-1 and the 2-on-1 rivalries when they're doing the rivalry matches. I don't need right now to set up my divisions, right? I only have one division. I'm just going to go in here so this guy will stop. Okay. We've got the divisions, and we're going to come back and set this up. But right now, we don't need to do it. What's going on? Raymond R. Jones, welcome to the stream. Raymond, what is the name of your wrestler? Because if it's not Raymond Jones, sometimes I don't know what it is. Like Iffy is Melinda. Jaden is JP. Blaze Radio is Blaze McCoy. Ebola is Ebola. What's going on, Sped? Sped, guys, Sped is the reason we're doing this right now. Like, we're doing it early. So you guys can take this knowledge that I'm giving you right now and set your stuff up. Okay, so we got our first show. Now we always have to have one show. We no longer need Raw. So now we're going to delete Raw. Get that out of here. We don't need it. And we're going to set up Monday Nitro. Now the cool thing about this, so we want it to be a major show. It's going to be custom. We're going to come in here. I'm going to name it Monday Nitro. We're going to put Charles Robinson in for this one. The arena, we go in here. Nitro Tribute, nope. Version 2 is the one we want. Bam. Now we got it. Commentary, even though it doesn't matter. We're going to put that in there. I go in my show designs. This is what I want Nitro to look like. I don't want to edit it. But I want it to say WCW in a different way. So there's that. And again, we got to find something. Nitro. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I like this one right here for Nitro. So we come in here. I'm going to keep it just like I told you. We're going to keep it the same. I'm going to find Sports Red. We're going to come in here again. Come up, find what went past it. There it is. Animation 3. And then again, Sports Red. Where did you go? Where did you come from? Where did you go? There you are, Cotton Eye Joe. Okay. So we got Monday Nitro. Again, with the participants, it doesn't matter. We just need, I won't put people that I know aren't going to be on the show, but right now, it doesn't matter. So we just need enough people so the show's like, yeah, okay. Doing the thing. I got you. Doing the show. 9 matches. Again, we're going to set up the 9 matches. You can set up your match table. We're going to vacate those rules right there. Championship, main event, 100% this one for now. And this goes on you from this point on, like here. And again, when you get into the shows, you can do anything you want. You can go in and edit every single show. You can edit it differently. But I don't want a bunch of crazy matches while I'm worried about trying to edit the shows. You know what I mean? So there's 9. So I put 5 here. I don't worry about that. And I come back and I play with those a little bit here in a second. Well, here in a while. Now, because this is our flagship show, just like Raw, Monday Nitro, the flagship show, right? If you've got, let's say, Monday Meltdown is your flagship show, and Thursday Tropical Storms is your Thursday show, and that's like a great show, but your secondary show. It's not the flagship show. Now we're going to set up the titles, how they need to be set up, and I'm going to show you why they have to be set up exactly like I'm going to set them up right now. Your titles have to be set up this way, and I'm going to show you the game does a funny thing when you're talking about tracking stats. So we need our world title in the front. And again, it doesn't matter who you assign the belt right now. We're going to fix that in a second, but it doesn't matter. The second slot has to be your next male championship. So for us, our next male championship is the United States title belt. Where did you go? United States title belt. Our next title belt in slot 3 has got to be your tag team, your men's tag team title belt. I'll show you why here in a second. Not the Universal. Where are you at? It's probably right in front of my face. If I was a betting man, and it is. Okay. Because we don't have any title tag team set up as of yet that I've got selected, I can't select a tag team or a tag team champion. So I'm gonna leave it blank for now. The next one we set up, and you could do this one of two ways. This is how I do it. You could put all the men's titles on Nitro and all the women's titles on whatever. I don't like doing it that way. So the next thing that I do, and this links the two shows together to the computer. Not that it matters. This is the first year. It doesn't actually matter if you do that or not. Bam. The next one is your next female title belt. The next one is going to be your women's tag team championships, okay? And then, of course, we've got the Money in the Bank briefcase. This is for the WCW. We don't have to name anybody. Everything's fine. Okay. For now, that's fine. But now we know. I've got the men's world US tag team, women's world US tag team. Okay, so we've got other title belts. And I know, and I'm only using mine so you guys kind of get it, but we don't have, hey, what's going on, Eagle Star? Welcome to the stream, brother. Dunmar Jones? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen him. I'll have to look. We can now kind of go back over here and figure some things out. So we go back into edit. We can go back into title belts. And now we know championship. We want the next men's title is the television title. The next women's title is the television title. The next men's title is the cruiserweight. We only have one eligible, so that's how it goes now. Again, these aren't my champions. It doesn't matter. I just need to get the title belts set up. And then we have the men and women's hardcore. Those are all of our main, so all of our main title belts fit, right? Men's hardcore. And then the women's hardcore. Okay. So we have them all set up, but the tag team title belts. That's going to come later. Yeah, there you go. Eagle Star teaching a little Southern there. Okay, so we've got our two main shows right now. Now, because of the way we have a universal, because we have universal and we have the WWE, you saw I erased all the WWE shows, right? But I need the WWE wrestlers to be able to compete for the belts along with WCW wrestlers. So what do? I add a show, and this is another major show, okay? So we come in, we're going to add minor shows too, but we add this major show. We come in here, we want this to be our Monday Night Wars. So Monday Night Wars. The reason I'm doing it to this extent is because everybody wants to run their universe a little bit different. You know what I mean? I'm giving you a way to do it. Okay, Monday Night Wars. And coincidentally, I told you we've got to have all of our stuff set up, right? So Battle Bowl, Spring Stampede, Revenge. For us, it's going to have to be our Wrestle War Arena for now. Again, I just set my commentary to Raw or to Nitro. We have our own show design. We know what we want it to look like. The Monday Night Wars. Monday Night Wars. Yeah, we want it to be the clockwork one, the red clockwork. That looks cool. Clockwork, we'll do animation 4. And normally you could have like clicked over these to see what they were. Like you click on this, you could have left it there and it would show you what it is. It doesn't now. So now you got to go in, click on it, and now it shows you down there. They're determined to give us John Cone, but we want standard referee 2 for this one, Monday Night Wars. All that is good. Now, when we go down to participants, I only add the participants that are eligible for the Universal title belts. So a lot of them are WWE wrestlers, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. If you want a world title somewhere, somehow, or tag team title belts, you're eligible, you know what I mean? So we go through, and I'm not going to add them all. That's not what we're here to do, but we go through trying to get enough that's who I should have added. Devon, Bubba Ray. And then the women, so that I can assign these two right here. Okay, for now that's fine. Again, I'm not trying to dial in the people yet. I'm just trying to dial this in. And then for us, we do 7 matches. We edit the titles, and it goes male, world, it goes and now the tag teams always go in the 3rd slot, and thank goodness now we can add the tag teams. Now we go women. We go women's diva. And we go tag team. Now, for us, unfortunately, you can only do one Money in the Bank briefcase. Again, it goes off of slot number 1. So if this is what we're playing, I put this in, but I switch these out. Sometimes it's for the women's Money in the Bank. But now we've got them. That's set up. The divisions are set up. Good to go. Monday Night Wrestling Wars. Cool. Now, if I was going to have a feeder show, I would put it on Friday if it was me. If I was going to have an NXT, I would put it there. Because I want my minor shows to be right here. So in your minor shows, no titles are on the line, no nothing. You don't have to worry about that. I still come down here because I use this. I still pump this up to 9. You can pump it up or put it at anywhere you want to be. For us, I call it NWO Tuesday night. Look, NWO Tuesday night, we got that right there. What do we got for, for my minor shows, I like to, do the underground theme. But we're going to use the underground theme for both of them. So we'll go in here, we'll get our underground theme. Let's get that knocked out. And the underground theme. Put in your show design. Good to go. Now, your host shows. Monday, I'm not going to put in the Monday Night Wars. That's where my WWE guys are. That's where we wrestle for the Universal title belts. Monday Night Nitro and Thursday Thunder. Okay? Save. And I would do the same for Saturday night. We're not going to do it now, but because you guys get the idea. We've got the main show set up. These are the dark shows. This is what I don't stream to you guys, the dark shows. So I stream Monday Night Nitro every other week. Now we're going to stream the Monday Night Wars, and I stream Thursday Thunder, right? I have a Saturday night wrestling, and then Friday night is going to start being, it's going to be a new show that we're going to start streaming here in 2K25, where not everybody's on the main roster. The main rosters for Nitro and for Thunder. That way we can run those storylines. And then we'll have the new talent coming in. They'll be on this show, just like NXT. And that kind of gives them a chance to develop. That way they can win the world title down there. They can get the call-ups. They can do the things. Right? That's going to create a whole bunch of other stories. Pretty sure that's what we're going to do. Now, this is very important. When you create the PLEs, they work the best in the 4th week on Sunday. Why? I have no idea. But that's what they do. PLEs are annual special event. One or more co-hosts, spectate, championship. Great. Have all the matches, yeah. So just like we've been doing, but now in mine, you can have up to 14 matches in a pay-per-view event or a PLE, right? Up to 14. We have 12 in ours. That's where you really dig into the match types. But for us, this is only going to be a WCW event. And we're going to call it Bash at the Beach. And to keep me on track, to make sure, because sometimes I want to do like co-WWE events, but Bash at the Beach. in Rome. Might as well get all of them. We'll come down here, get our WCW Bash at the Beach logos. Yep, the Voyage thing seems like it's very beachy. As beachy as we're going to get anyway. Come in here. Should have went the other way, but I didn't. So now we've got the basics is set up, at least for the first month. You know what I mean? Right now, if you wanted to get going, you could. I advise before you start, because you can always go and kind of change it, change the name, change the whatever you're wanting to do. I always advise go set up all of your PLEs, if you can, at the start of your universe mode. Okay? So that's the calendar. That's how you set up the calendar. That's only part of what you do. Because now, let's say we went through all the weeks, we got all the stuff, we did everything, we got our Friday or Saturday, we got all of our PLEs set up, we're good to go. Now, every time you set up a new universe mode, the part that happens, what's going on, Temple Walk the Stream, brother? What happens is you have to recreate every tag team that you want to have. Every single one except for the default ones that are in the game. So, you can see the ones that are defaulted in the game. Some of these I take out. Some of these I leave in. Like that I would take out. They're not a thing. The Brawling Brutes, not in my world. I leave some of these guys in. Most of them, like, to me, like I get rid of this particular one. Most of them, to me, it doesn't quite matter. Like these ones. If I don't want the LWO because I want to be something else, then I do that. New World Order, of course, we've got a different one. But you have to go in here and you have to set up all of your tag teams. Okay? Then we can go back to our shows and add our tag team title belts and then start adding in who's going to be on what show. One super, super easy way to do this, especially if you're running a CAW universe. I'll show you. We go in here. Now, I'm not going to go into the calendar because you can hit the wrong thing in the calendar. So if you can avoid hitting the calendar, that's not a bad deal. And you can add the shows right here in the edit the show, major and minor shows, right? PLEs, you have to go into the other one. But let's go in here to Nitro. We come in here to Nitro. I'm going to add the participants. Most of our participants, though, are custom superstars. So I can come right in here to the custom superstars, and I can go in here, and I can add them in. Everybody I'm watching, I'm making sure everybody that we want is going to be added in the way we do it now. Everybody is added. Da, 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 da. Stalker is not added. Da, da, da. Added in. 97 participants. Now I go back in. There are a few other superstars that would be added in, like, and not many, but Bret Hart is one of them. So I come up here to Bret Hart. We add Bret Hart in. The Fiend is one of them. So I go find the Fiend. We add them in. You get the idea. Now, when I go in and save, always got to save. Now, when I go in to the next part, like I go into the next show, if all of my wrestlers, see how I have 99 there? If all of my wrestlers are on the other show, not on Monday Night Wars, but look at the top, Monday Nitro, I can come right in here and I can just add every single wrestler that's on Monday Nitro to make sure that I have the same roster across the board. That's like your quick cheat method. You can get in here after you did it on the one show, and you can add them all in, right? And that now sets up our major shows the way that we want them. I'm just doing this part fast so you guys get the idea. Again, this could take forever and 2 days to do. But so we add them all in. We have 99 here. I'm going to go ahead and save it. $99, $99. You can see the roster size is perfect. Now, what's funny, look at the roster for Tuesday night, 98. What could be wrong with that? Because we don't add people onto this. It doesn't work the same way. I add people from these shows. We have 99 over here and only 99 or 98 up there. Okay? This is how I set up. Like, I don't need Totes My Goats wrestling in a dark match. Like, that's not a thing. And it's not going to be a thing for him. I don't need Rowdy wrestling in a dark match. I no longer need Matt Storm wrestling in a dark match. Right? So in here we come in, even though we have a couple people that aren't whatever. But here we can come in and look at the wrestlers, right? So I come in here. One guy I want to check is Bret Hart, right? Because he's outside the universe. And I'm just looking over here. Yeah, he's not on. Inside his character, look at this. It says minor show appearances off. Perfect. I don't need Bret Hart wrestling in minor shows. Okay, so custom superstars, I come in. Again, who are we talking about? Who do I not need wrestling in minor shows right now? Hulk Hogan. Why would I have Hulk Hogan wrestling in minor shows? I don't need it. So I'm going to come in here. Turn it off. No minor shows for Hogan. I'm going to go down. Jay Savage. Let's see. Matt Storm. We said we don't need him wrestling in minor shows. Off. And I want to do that. That way when it goes through, if I've set up all my match tables on all my shows, it's tedious. But if I did that, if I set them all up and I set them up correctly, most of the match cards should at least have the right matches. They might not have the right people, but it'll have the right matches on there. Okay? Part 2. Look at this. Jake Plague. It shows right now. So this is the next thing that we're going to do. This is the part people don't understand. Right now, it shows Aaron Lee has a manager, and I want Susie to be his manager. But I don't want it on here. Not to start out the universe. So before anything happens, I'm taking that out. I'll show you how to do it here in a second. I'll show you how to initially assign them, but it's not in here. All this stuff, you see the allies, the enemies, the tag team, it's all got to be removed. You got to come in here. Anybody has anything? It's got, oh, look at this. Not on our watch. Managers, no thank you. Removed. You're out of here. You got to take these guys out. This will screw up your universe mode. This, when you wonder why, you're like, why would Brutus Walters be fighting against Wade War Walters? It's because of the crap that's in here. The allies, the enemies, the tags, the managers. There's a way to get it set up. Chris Ray. Nuh-uh. No Eric Bischoff. Not anymore. Initially, he was in the NWO, right? And so that's why it's on there. and it saved it to the game. So now I'm trying to create a brand new universe mode, and it's pulling that in there with it. Not good. We don't want allies, enemies. The only tag teams we want are the ones that we created. Like once you create tag teams, and that's the way it goes. GC Rock, same thing. Now I want Lady Rock to be his manager, but it can't start out where she's the manager, or it will screw things up. It screws up what you're trying to accomplish. And then it just creates more work. So then every show you're going in, you're like, why is it picking these people to fight these people? And why is this going on? And why is that going on? It's because of this. Oh, look at the state of Savage. I don't even know. All of them gone. I don't even know the story behind any of that. So bam, gone. Save all changes. We're out of here. You can start to see why this gets tedious, you know what I mean? Jace Wagner, and it's not that I don't want these people, but the way that you create alliances and rivalries is through the rivalry system. When it goes that way, things work out. But when you start your universe, before you do one match, before you're like, oh, you have to go in and do this. Get rid of all of it. Set up the tag teams that you want to start with. Get rid of the tag teams you don't want to have. Now this is just the created list. To top all this off, we haven't even got into the other part. Because if I've got any of them, guess what? If you ever plan to use anybody from the WWE or that was already in the game, you have to go in here and do this. Knock them all out. I knock them all out. I start with these guys because this feels like I'm accomplishing something faster, but you got to come in here. You got to knock all these rivalries out. You got to knock out all the managers. You got to knock out all the enemies. It's all got to go. It can come back, but it's got to go. So if you want people set up a certain way, like you're like, man, I really want Rowdy, BFAB to be with Rowdy. I just write it down. And so then the first match that I've got that has Rowdy coming up, I just write it down. You wouldn't think that this screws things up. I skipped this step. When I learned this method, I skipped that step. I'm like, that doesn't matter. It absolutely matters. It'll screw your stuff up. And I'm not saying your universe is going to be perfect, but it's going to be a lot better than it was. But it's got to start with a blank canvas. If it's not a blank canvas, then the computer starts doing its own thing. It starts making stupid matches where you're like, oh, why is Rowdy and Totes fighting when they're members of the same team? You know what I mean? But yeah, you got to get into here. You got to break it up. And I know this is not the most fun stream on the planet, right? But you got to do it. I'm going to show you part of it too, why, here in a second. Like I show some of you guys the whys, why we're doing it. Okay, so all those guys are done. But look, you got to do all. And look at these guys. Look, he's got 3 managers. You got to take them out. Look at the state of this. The tag team, you don't have to remove. He's already a tag team, so that doesn't have to get removed. But this, all the enemies, not on your watch. He might have enemies, and they'll grow enemies, and they'll grow allies, but they can't start out that way. You got to get rid of all of them in the game. What's going on, Brian? Welcome to the stream, brother. Wally, what is happening, my man? Welcome to the stream. Hey, if you guys got wrestlers and you want them on there and you're in my Discord, just send me a message. Like if you want to be in 2K on the WCW 2K25 roster, send me a PM on Discord. Team is fine again, but managers is not. The managers, they got to go. So I'm not going to do this. We're not going to, but again, you can see why this takes hours and hours and hours to set up your initial one right. And then I suggest once you do this one time, before you do anything else, I would copy it to your other 3 slots. At least one other slot. At least have one that's always blank. That way you can always go, if you had to go back, create your tag teams, create everything, blank slate. If you had to reset your universe for whatever reason, or one file became corrupt, at least you would have it so that you've got the other one. You don't have to start over. But again, allies, enemies, managers, gotta go. Allies, enemies, managers, all of them gots to go. So now, when you look at this, and this is part of what I'm talking about. Remember we said that it had to be in slot number 1, the men's title, that your next title is for us, it's the US title, and then the 3rd slot is always tag team titles. Let me show you why. We come in here. Well, this is one thing, but you come in here, and now this will start tracking the right way. Right? All your title and your title histories will start tracking the right way. When you go back into your Superstars, and I click on this, right now, there's nothing but that in the vacant slot right there, that's where your tag team title belts go. Look at that. He's a guy, World, US, tag. That's what will always go there. 1, 2, 3, right? We go into the women. You set it up the same way, 4, 5, and 6, but 4 and 6 are going to be the only 3 that pop on there. For some reason, the women, all they have is the world, and they have their tag teams. That's the only thing that'll ever pop on there. But if you want it to track this way for every woman, for every guy, that's how you set up your titles. Again, you got to get rid of all this stuff. You got to blank this out. You blank it out. You set up your tag teams. I even come in here to rivalries and make sure that for some reason the game hasn't created any rivalries yet without my knowledge. I don't want any rivalries. I don't want anything. So we just check it. Everything's fine. So good to go. Now we're going to come in here and I'm going to create a couple tag teams. I'm not going to do their entrances in the whole night. I'm just let's get a couple. Absolution. I'm going to call them Abs. We're going to add. It's going to be Angel and Blackheart. Okay. Abs right there. Bam. But look, you got to come in here and you got to create the whole 9 yards. I'm going to show you guys something cool too at the end with tag teams. There's some really cool things. What's going on, Kimberly Vega? Welcome to the stream. Hey, she knows it. Anytime I pop in any of your streams, I'm like, hey. That's funny. Okay, hold on. Let's just Absolution, Acolytes, ACO. Let's find the women, Anita and Awesome Christina, that aren't holding belts. We create them. Anyway, but you have to go through and create all of them. I'm going to show you a better way to do this with your factions, however. Because of the big storylines we got going on right now, I learned a couple things about factions and how you should really be doing them. So we got our tag teams. Now we can go back in to our shows on Nitro, because that's where we've got the slots at. Now that we have tag teams that we can assign the belts to, we go back into edit shows, back into Nitro. We go back in here to championships. We come out here. We grab our men's tag team titles, and bam, good to go. We grab our women's tag team titles. Bam, good to go. Now, because we selected all the people that we selected, I highly recommend you do this. You can come in here, look at this. It's on Aaron right now. We can select now who we want to be in the world title contendership, right? So these are my guys right here. These 8 guys, that's who I want rotating around the world title. Save it. Oh, U.S. title. This is who I want rotating around the U.S. title. Bam. Got our guys. There's our U.S. title. Those 14. We don't have a lot of tag teams. So, women. Bam. This is who I want rotating around the world title. Now, you can set all of this up. That way, when it's setting up your match cards, this is how deep this goes. But when it starts setting up your match cards, it starts making sense. If you're like, why is this one person who just joined all of a sudden getting world title shots that the computer's trying to get them? You can always change them, of course, right? I'm going to show you that in a second too, but switch that up. And then we want these people. Bam. So we got the divisions. Then you can come in here if you want. I let the computer do this, but not to start out. Not to start out. I come in here and I actually set this up. Like, who do I want where? Ozzy, Witcher, Bobby Hart, Melinda. That's awesome. And you see, this is important. In this one, it goes down to 10. It used to only go down to 5, but top 10 attribute points reward. You can see it right over there. 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, and 3. So you get an additional 3 attribute points. That's huge. So we get that all set up. Nitro, you don't have to edit the power rankings on Thunder. You only have to edit them on one. They'll both line up. We can do the same with the Monday Night Wars too. You can go into the Monday Night Wars, do the same thing, edit the match tables, get it how you wanted to get it, edit the divisions. Not all these guys on here are going to be going, so I usually take like 5 or 6 people for the each title belt, just so when we're around there, it's kind of setting that up later on to do that. Okay. So now everything should be set up. Everything is ready to go. But look, here's the big thing, and this is the thing that nobody does, and then you wonder why your universe mode's all messed up. You got to blank it out. It is supposed to be this blank sandbox, whatever, but it's not. Look at, they have enemies and allies already set up for all these people because they're trying to imitate the WWE programming, and for whatever reason, it'll screw up your universe mode. It'll be doing things on here that make no sense. So yeah, it takes a lot. This is the thing that takes the most time, and creating all the tag teams. The shows, you saw how fast I made the shows. So the shows typically go pretty quick, but it's all the other stuff. See, now it's added a tag team on him. It's fine. Tag team, leave alone. But allies, enemies, managers, they got to go. You got to blank them out. Okay? So let's say we got it all blanked out now. We've done all the things that we need to do. Now it's time to get into the show. Now we select the show. Remember, there shouldn't be anything on here, and there's not. There shouldn't be more than 2 tag teams, normal tag teams, and there shouldn't be more than 9 normal one-on-ones. In this particular card, they draw all one-on-ones. All the one-on-one matches are normal. Of course, on this particular card, there's no titles on the line. That's fine. But I can go in here now and be like, nope, you know, in match number 1, I want to customize the match, and I can make it anything I want it to be. So I've got custom matches. I want to make it a 4-way table match. I go in there. Yep, I want those 2 wrestling. Where's our other female talent? Let's put Crimson on there and Jane. Bam, good to go. So I go in and I set my own cards anyway. But now, let's say in the next match, I want Rowdy. I'm fine with the match type, but I want Rowdy to have a manager, right? I come in here. Here's where I add the manager. I find BFAB, and bam. That's how you want to add the manager. Now that will get added as they wrestle longer. That's now going to be Rowdy's manager as they move up and move through the ranks. But that's how you want it to add that. Not from that other screen. Not when the universe mode starts. Later, you can do that. Later, you can manipulate it after you start the first show. But before, it's got to be a blank page. If I wanted this to be a title match, fine. Oh, look, look at all the rivalry. This is how the rivalry action thing starts anyway. Judge Julie Justice, she's going to humiliate, do some stuff. So yeah, you can set up your rivalry actions. You can do all kinds of stuff from here. Save it, you back out of it, you start your show, you become rich and famous. You know what I mean? Every eFed owner right now is going, oh, if it was only that easy. But now you're set up in your universe, you're ready for your first show. That's how you do it, though. How many of you out there knew that? Like, I'm going to tell you, when I've learned this, and I learned it from Beach Bites. When I learned this, I was like, wow. Did not know that. Had no idea, to be fair. Oh, Kim saw herself right there. If you guys don't know, Kim's going to make her debut in the next show. Thursday Thunder. Oddly, it's funny that that's on here. And there's her character right there. Holocron. You know what I love about the crazy names? I'm probably saying them wrong. Like Repentia. Repentia's probably right. Okay. That's how you set up a universe mode, though. Okay? Blank everything out. Get everything right. Again, I would have this. If you're going to have a show like NXT that has their own, that's a major show. If you want it to be a dark show, that's a minor show. And that's where, Friday I would have a major show. I would have an NXT type show called Raindrops or something, Saturday Wrestling would be a dark show. And I use these dark shows to test out wrestlers inside universe mode. So it's funny. I'm going to show you guys right now. I record all the results too, because I have to know what's happening in the dark shows to keep things going. So just to show you guys real quick, while we're talking, while we're looking at stuff, NWO Tuesday, Season 6, Episode 85D, which means that's after Episode 85, that's the dark show. So after Monday Night Nitro, Episode 85, and then that's the results. Predator beats Gruening, Vipero pins Chris Ray, Strudel pins Agent Dustin. All that stuff starts playing into the win and the loss record. So when people are on losing streaks, I can't make you win or lose, but I try to set up matches to try to help people out of those streaks. Doesn't always work. And sometimes, in the case of Herbie, recently Vipiro, it's worked out really well. It works. So, now, I told you what else. I told you what else I was going to do for you. So that's how you set up Universe Mode. I highly recommend doing it. Before you play another thing in Universe, I would go in there and I would set it up. I would practice it on here so you can see, and then you'd be set for 2K25. Now, let's go into the other universe. I'm going to show you guys something. This is probably going to be a spoiler. I'm going to try to avoid any of the spoilers. But if we go back into Universe Mode, back into the live Universe Mode, the for real Universe Mode. When you set up your factions, I'm going to show you, not the Corporate Syndicate, I'm going to show you the NWO. Because even the spoiler, if there's a spoiler on that, whatever. Doesn't matter. But look at this. This is how the NWO is set up. You'd think it would be set up in a set of 5 people per faction. But this is how it's set up. And I'm gonna show you why. What's going on, Dubs? Welcome to stream, brother. I'm gonna show you why. Look, New World Order. Look, Hogan. Hogan isn't in that one. Totes and Jace. I highly debated on putting Hogan in that one. But if you notice, Hogan's not in any of them. But Hogan is in the NWO. He wears the colors, does the whole 9 yards. But here's what I found. Yeah, I'll show you my sliders too, because that's another layer that plays in. I did a podcast on them though, but I'll show you my sliders too. That's fine. We'll do that. If I want Jay Savage to walk down with Chillivac, with Totes, with Jace, the Hit Squad, but I don't want him to trigger a tag team animation. I want him standing behind. If I set up the New World Order like this, and I haven't done I'm going to do it right now. I haven't done the thing. But if I want him to stand behind and be an actual manager, which means now he really can't do it with these two guys. He can't do it with Dubs and with Matt Storm, but he can do it with the rest of the NWO. Totes can't do it with Jace, but he can do it with the rest of the NWO. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So instead of making one large faction, you can do that. Now, how do you tie them together? Well, if we go in, if we go back out of this now, and we go to Superstars, and we go down, let's say, to Heather, and I want them tied in. I come down here to where the allies are. That's funny. I don't know how that's even possible. And I'll go down and let's just we'll find Misty. We'll find Melinda. That's one that's on this team. I make them allies. That way, I find Alana. That way, Allison. When they're in the ring, that you won't recognize all of them, right? But you'll recognize most of them. Let's see. Jay. But I go in there and I make them allies. Obviously the team, right? But then I make them allies. Now I can do that because this universe has been running for a minute. So you can really get in and start setting things up and really manipulating the game. All right. Now, talking about sliders. So here's what's funny about sliders. If you look at my sliders or the SSU sliders, we do things that are very similar, but it's funny, we get there a different way. I think hard is the best one to have it on. You can have it on whatever you want to have it on, but I think hard is the best one to have it on. I turn everything else off, like as far as your subtitles, the tutorial tips. I have my blood on. I have the post-match and stuff and the payback, mid-match paybacks. Like if it's a payback, then you could do it. I turn the automatic rope break off. Most people have it on. Stamina normal, weight detection simulation. Yes. Presentation. This is the camera shakes and the stuff, yeah, but the HUDs and all that stuff, all of it's off. I don't know any of it. I now have the referee display count on because of the weird camera angles. You can't always tell, so then I'm trying to listen, but then the crowd's going and I'm talking and I miss it sometimes. So I need that on. That's for my sake. And then balancing. So the standing strike, the standing grapple. Again, now we've talked about this in depth in one of the podcasts. But this is how I have mine set up. So if you guys are looking at it, you'll have time. I'll go over every single one of them. You can pause the video. I'll talk about the big ones. The AI finisher reversal rate, I want it high. I don't want it all the way up to 100, but I want it high. I want it very high. That way, if you hit the reversal, bad things should be happening. The grabber, the break, the foreign object attack reversal rate, I want it low. Like you grabbed a baseball bat, hit somebody with it, you know what I mean? And you see how often things get reversed. There's still and then sometimes they're getting whacked, you know, to the moon and back. So like it's a tough one. Combo breaker, submission rate, dive rate. This is the rate at what they're doing. But look at this springboard. And you see how many damn springboards happen, but it's turned way down. Grapple rate I want up. I want the strike rate down. Wrestling's grappling, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So in the WCW, I want them grappling. I want them hooking up and fighting and doing it that way. And you still see how many times the strike, but the strike should happen into the grapple. That's what I want to happen. Target's fine. Running attack, I turn it way down, and you see like almost every match, one or two of those guys are running after each other like they're crazy. The block and the dodge rate, I have high. Typically on the wrestlers, I have it low. So you see that kind of plays in. Trading blows, 50-50. I've played with this one. 50-50 is about where I want it. Post-match is fine for the run-ins. I don't want to see entrance run-ins. The mid-match is fine, but low. Referee downtime, 100%. That's got to be low. Basic reversal window. So the reversal rate of the finishers is high, but the basic reversal window is low. I want the wrestler, like, and you see it happen in the WCW, where one guy gets in control or one lady gets in control, and they're in control for a little bit. Sometimes you see a quick back and forth. You think my reversals would be through the roof. But I want it, so it's kind of below 50%. Ground attack reversal window. If you're getting a mud hole stomped in you, you need to get a mud hole stomped in you. That's part of selling the moves. You know what I mean? So signature and finisher reversal. Weapon reversal, again, low. Stamina cost, high. Stamina recovery, low. Yeah. Yeah, and see, that's part of the problem. Like, I like high flyers, but look, you can crank their, like the high flyers, you can crank them up. But people are still flying. Like the springboard thing, I don't get. Like, it's way down and people are still flying off the ropes like it's going out of style. That's why I've taken it out of most wrestlers' movesets. If I don't want you to do it, it's not in your moveset at all. There's people that I want doing it. JP, Vipiro, you know, the cruiserweights, so they've all got it on or in their movesets. The rollout duration, typically you're rolling out for a reason. So if you roll out, I want the duration to last a little bit. Stun duration, though, is low. Stun gain is low. Like, I want it to be, if for some reason you're stunned, bad things are fixing to happen. The regen rate, the cooldown is kind of low. The rate is a little bit higher. The post-out damage recovery, now you can go two different ways with that. So AI difficulty damage scaling, I want that off, basically. Drag escape, carry escape. I've really played with this. Like, the drag escape especially, like, that seems to be the best place. But oh, hold on, we're not done. People would think that would be like the last thing, right? There is something else that is in here. All this pretty standard. I haven't messed with that at all. But this, a lot of people don't realize that this plays into it. So, recent finisher influence. And by the third one, these stack on top of each other. So it's not like 50. Like, it gets a lot harder, a lot faster. Same with the signature. We have that. And that's for a player. That doesn't even have anything to do with us. If you look at this, 50, 60, 70, by the time you hit a third finisher, like, there should be no way. You know what I mean? You get all that damage. There's not a high recovery rate, regen rate, and so done. And then same thing with the signature move. But that's not all. It says mini game settings down here. The timed pin game, the size of the zone, I leave it all 50-50 for that. Submission, look at this. A lot of people, I watch the streams of a lot of people, and their submissions go that fast. They get pinned that fast. You used to see it in the WCW, and I figured this out. You want to go into the submission minigame for the AI and knock this into the dirt. Now you can see before a WCW wrestler attacks, it takes much longer. So attacker, presser, button strength, wrong penalty, like, all of it's turned way down. I want them in that move. I want them in it for a little while before they can kick out. Like, if they can kick out, great. If they can't, great. I don't want a bunch of, long time then submission. So nobody's got the advantage. But for them pushing the button, instead of it going, it's going much slower now. If they mess up, it's coming down slower. If the defender's doing whatever, so it's doing this. That's huge there. So if you haven't learned anything about any of it, do this. This will change what it looks like. And this, I probably turn this down even farther too, to be fair. Unfair actions, good positioning. For the referees, I want them to be mean. I don't. So in the duration, I crank up. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that's part of, I think that's part of having that. So that's why my sliders are set the way. Now, what's funny, me and Solo have some sliders that are exactly opposite and make it do the exact same thing. It's just how we get in and how we do what we do. So, very interesting to see if you copied and me and him have done this. But if you copy my sliders and you copy his sliders and you just set them next to each other, some are exactly the same and some are exactly opposite. So, any other questions out there? Anything else you guys can think about? I'm going to give you guys a bonus thing too. I'm going to show you guys something. When you guys, we talk about this a lot, creating championship belts. So we've talked about how to set up universe mode. We just bonus with the sliders. We're going to do a bonus thing with these championship belts. If I was going to create a brand new belt right now, there are some techniques, and I want to show these to you, that have changed the way I design belts. And it's fun. You can get in there and you can play with it and you can do your own thing. To do just that. So some of these, if you go through and look at this, I'm looking for a circular belt pattern. That's what I want, right? You see one there, that's whatever. That's the one I'm kind of looking for, but I don't want that strap design. So you see how the strap will change, but I don't want those side plates either. Let's go with that. And now the strap design. The strap design greatly changes the whole belt outlook, like the whole way the belt looks. So if I was going to make a world champion, look at that. The belt, actually, the gold plates look like they're pinning and holding the belt together. That's pretty cool. Oh, see, look, that makes, if you look at 15, look at the size, and then bam, makes it quite a bit bigger. That's still bigger, but it brings those in together. Huh. Oh, it's a lot of bigness going on there. Everything's close. Let's do that. I like it. It's not a lot of right and wrong stuff, but here's the thing that I'm talking about. We're going to go in, and I want to change the texture of this gold title belt. That's obvious one, right? I want a square picture. Let's see what this does. I'm going to tile it. I'll bring it down just a little bit for now. I'm going to go colorless. Oh, look at that. And look at this, the different, like if you go all in, it looks a certain way. If you come out a little bit, it looks a certain way. Let's go all in. So now this belt has a certain texture to it. Yeah? I like that. Okay, so it's got the texture. Now, to take it... Oh, yeah, I love doing it, to be fair. This has taken me a lot of years to figure out certain things. So yeah, anything I can help you guys with, for real. Even if it's just so you enjoy your game a little bit more. I'm in. So let's come in here. You're probably like, why would you have words like this? Why would you have that? And I'm going to show you why here. Look at this. I found world champion, right? Now, it looks pretty cool. Like if we were just like this. We come up here. Now look at it. Now if we go too far, I think it's too much, right? I want it to be very defined in where it says world. So about 7, I think. Now you see it's no longer textured the same way. World. It's like it's engraved in the gold right there. World. I like that. Okay. Now, I could use this one because you guys got to be wondering, like, why you got so many WCWs? This is why. It's all got to do with belts. It's got nothing to do with the shows or with the whatever. Now, I could take this one. Oh, see how that one pops out? Nice. And it always stays, like all the edges are clean on that one. Okay, so that's one thing I could do. I like that one. That's why we keep that one around. That one looks like it would do the same thing, but this one is my favorite. And we just got this one a little while ago, but this one is my favorite. Look at what this will do. And that's why sometimes you want to download some of these things to see what it will do. Look at that. Now look, we go too far. Look, it starts tearing into the thing. So I back it 35. That's, look at that. 35 keeps it nice and clean. Huh. So we got that. We come in. We've got two different ways. We've got the other thing that where it's got the champion that way, or this is a circular belt. We've got this one, so we can extend this out, keep it with the curvature of the belt, and we can emboss this one. But look, you can't go too far with this one. 8's about as far as you can. Maybe a little farther. 18. 18's about 16. Yeah, I don't tell people they can't use it. If I don't want them to use it, I don't upload it. There's people using totes right now that it's not totes. Like I don't count that as my own history. You know what I mean? Only a few organizations where I'm like, yeah, that's totes. But most of, like, if you guys were using totes, and most of you guys are very respectful about it. So, and I try to be respectful with your cause as well. So there's that. I'm like, okay, maybe I like that. Maybe I don't. But let's go up here because it's our world championship, and I only want to do this on our world championship. I'm gonna go get. Now, if you get a belt that has this on it, it won't work. It'll hide behind that nameplate no matter what you do. But I'm like, I want my nameplate, and I want it big like this. Yeah, right there. Boom. That's what I want. And now, every time I win this title belt, or somebody wins this title belt, I can go in now. Like, we'll use Sped. Sped is Drew Hawthorne. I could put just Hawthorne. I could put just Drew. I could put Drew H, but Drew Hawthorne, right? Bam, bam. Now I can take that and put it right in here. I want it to be seen, so I'm going to make it black. Sometimes you can do the drop shadow. You can pick one. Like, see, that's not a bad one. Probably the gray. I could adjust the offset, but I happen to like this offset the way it is. Or I could come up here. And now that's how you put a name on a title. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. So, there's that. But now I look at it and I'm like, you know what? I don't like that champion one. Let's go. There's a different champion one that I downloaded. Let's see how that looks. We come down here. Boom, champion, single. We start adjusting the size. If I want, I could sneak champion in right here. And to be fair, if I really, really wanted, let's just see what it looks like. See, that doesn't look too bad by itself. Can't see it there when it's small. But I could leave it like that. Just give it a little bit of color, right? Or I could back that up and then but see, on this particular one, I don't like, so I probably, oh, maybe it's because of this. Maybe I screwed it up. There we go. There we go. Now when they're carrying it down, you'll be able to see it. That's why it'll like sparkle and shine a bit. It's hard seeing it here, but when I move it in the light, you can see it in the light. But yeah, that's a technique, like to get things etched in to the gold. Another way that we could do this. Let's back up to here. Now, let's go relief. This is the kind of thing that will make your belt stand out again. If you look at this, they're different. Oh, let's do this. Watch this. They're different, like, what am I trying to say? Textures. The color of this. Now let's take this. You always want to have a plan too. Don't get me wrong. Just totes for now. Don't always have to use the whole thing, right? Just center it. Black. Drop shadow, white. I don't always use a drop shadow either, to be fair. Except, now, is there something cool Like, that's pretty cool. Now look too, even when you're doing the front plate, the other thing is you can go into the side plates. There's some neat stuff in the side plate stuff that looks really good on the main belt. WCW, like, you can make a hardcore belt out of that. That's a neat texture. It's not what we're looking for, but I'm just saying that's a neat texture. Let's see. Now, if we make this go up, sometimes, like, look, it fits right around. Like, you can make it fit around. I don't like the way that looks, but I'm just saying you can. Or look at the top. I don't like it, but you can do it intercontinental, light heavyweight, cruiserweight, tag teams. We go through all this. Let's say we go through all that. We just don't see anything we really like. We could switch out the world and use that world because it says world on it. Can use that. I do use this a lot, but normally I will start with this and have it go underneath the eagle's wings. But depending on where you put it, again, it's about changing the texture of the belt. You know what I mean? It can go off, like, that's not too bad. Okay, hold on. And now, what organization are we in? Let me show you guys a cool one. Here's another one I found very specifically for this reason. If you come in here and you look at this particular look at this. You have to make 2 title belts. One title belt's the tag team titles, another belt, you just add it to it. It's the only way to do it. Can't see that, right? But you could emboss it. See? Right there. Now, for this particular one, it's not really working. So we could go back. If we really wanted to leave it in, and like find a place to put it, you know, but we don't want to. Instead, I'm going to use this one. Now, one of those things, I always like to leave one of these open, one of these image spots open. But one of the things, besides putting my logo on the belt, one of the things that I like to do is I'll use the stars. I'll fill in spaces like this right here, these 2 spaces on this side, if it feels like it needs it. But because this is my E-Federation, I like to put my logo on things. And it's a pretty cool logo. I made this logo very specifically because you could see through the hat, part of the eye, like it looks like the logo's coming through the belt, or through the ring, or through the whatever. So, but yeah, the only thing I'm telling you, like the only thing is, realize you've only got like about 10 things you can put on here, right? I'll use these a lot too, because again, it's about just changing the texture of the belt. So I don't think there's another spot. There's not. But if there was, you could put that on one side, that on another side. Then when you're looking at the belt, why it just did that, I don't know. Front plate. Shouldn't have did that. Oh. It just happened to freeze in that one particular moment. But yeah. WCW World Champion. And look, you got a really cool texture behind the belt. So, again, how you do the texture, all you have to do is go in. This is why I download some of these images sometimes. Find that texture. Put it on tile. You can make it, like, if you wanted to make it super big and do the thing, you know, there's only going to be like one of these and no line. So let's say that, bam, look at this. This is what's used on our world title belt. So look at that. Look at the way it etches that gold, or makes it look like it's etched gold. It's crazy. And the coolest thing is now you've got that, but you could come in right now, WCW, and you put it right over the top of it. And instead of having it all edged out the same way, now WCW is on top of it and it's fine. It's etched through it. Come over to the right side. Let's say we don't want WCW. Let's say we wanted this. So let's apply single. Now we get it. We emboss it. Look at that now. It's a little harder to see, but again, it's etched into the belt. Totes my goat symbol right there. Hiding right in the belt. So yeah, you could take these ideas. This is why I get mad when people upload belt pictures and just put them on there. Like, I get it, it takes a lot of skill outside, but it doesn't take the skill inside. But taking these pictures and making these pictures do other things that you want them to do, not an easy task. So, not easy at all. Yeah, but I mean, that's pretty. You know what I mean? It's a pretty title. That's where some of these belts come up with. It's funny because if you look at our Universal title belt, you may think it's just the WCW belt, but what I did, oh, look at that. We just did that technique right there on that plate. Look, you've got the Brahma bull inside of it. You've got the Totsba goat symbol inside of it. You got the universal symbol inside of it. Like, it's not just your normal like belt. It is it's hard to see what's all in it, and there's a lot of Easter eggs inside that universal title belt. You know what I mean? There are so many layers. This is the prettiest belt ever made. There's so many layers inside this belt, and if I could add one more, I would, but look, you can't even add one more. But just look at the state of this belt. And then we took, this is another thing. I don't want to do it on this belt. Like here's the Cruiserweight Championship we never used. But look, you can go on to the belt and put things on the strap instead of on the belt. Like you can come on here onto the strap and you can put gold things on there if you want. So a lot of times I'll come in here and find if it's a WCW belt. I find this right here, and you can't see. You can't, oh, look, I did it anyway. You can't see it says World Champion on it when the guy's carrying it down. All you can see is the big WCW sign on it. Just to show that, yeah, this is a main WCW title belt. That's I put it on every single one of our main title belts. It goes right there. Hey, those title belts, all the ones that you're seeing here, you can download every single one of them. Go on to community creation, use hashtag totes, and look under the title belts. That's hashtag TOTES. TOTES in community creations. This is the Hardcore Championship in the SSU. Look at the state of that thing. Looks like Barbar is holding the whole thing together. It says revenge over the whole thing. Hardcore Champion has Solo's symbol in there with the skull. Like, that's freaky. Yeah, that's the Hardcore Champion. So if you're in the SSU, that's what you're fighting for. Highly debating on this. You guys will see something that has to do with the Reaper Circle one day. I just don't know what it is. And over the top Reaper, I put my logo. It's a good one. That was the original idea I had for it. Possible women's tag team, but look at this. I just thought that the way that these two etch in, we don't use this one, but a tag team. Our tag team belts are so good, like it's on another level. But see, we used all these techniques. You got the devil and the angel on the belt, then you got the opposite ones on the belt on the opposite side, so they're kind of facing each other. And guys, look, if you guys have, well, when in Rome, right? Raymond R. Jones still here, so let's look at this. Don't worry about it, Sped. I know you're hanging out. If we go into downloads, let's go into Superstars. And I do this from time to time. I've been doing it less lately because we're getting ready to go into the next thing. But I just go in here. I look at my hashtag, totes. Like Sean Sanders, who is this? Yeah, see, I don't know who Sean Sanders is. I know who that is. Nope. Yeah, all these. It's funny that he puts totes on there. That is not happening in my world. Crimson Wyatt. It's interesting. Oh, JD14. I should have guessed that. I actually do have a spot, so let's just download. Who is you? Which one is you? Oh, Sean Sanders, that's you? I thought we had you in the game, brother. Aren't you Sammy Shaw? Who is Draven Payne? Okay, okay, good deal. Okay, let's take a look here. I'll show you guys, like, if you want me to do it, Raymond, I'll do it right here on the stream real quick. I got about 10 minutes ish, 6 to 10 minutes. Here's what I do when I download somebody's wrestler. And I try to leave a spot open. So if you guys have designed a wrestler and you really want that wrestler and you want to use it, you have to upload it and say yes, it can be customized. So right away, what I notice is the tattoos. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go in, look at the appearance, look at the upper body, come down here to the tattoos, and yep, you did it. You used the tattoos in the game, and I'm going to take them off. But now I know what it is that you're kind of looking for. Remember that. Remember this one. I'm going to take it off too. Remember that one. I'm going to put it back on, but I'm going to do it different. That's funny that that's the tattoo that's on there. Step 2. This is I skipped step 1 real quick. This is step 2. Oh, I like that actually. We might go back and use that. I downloaded some new tattoos recently that are amazing. Hold on, I just gotta find it. Oh, I like that. I like that too. Hold on though. Oh, you might be the guy that could pull this off. Not yet. Come on, where is this tattoo at? Do not tell me. There's no way I got rid of this tattoo. I have the same tattoo, like, oh. I have the same tattoo that you've got, except it's an actual tattoo. Where in the heck did it go? It's also a good one. Oh man, tell me I deleted it. I'm gonna look for it again, but first. Can't believe I got rid of it. I swear, it's the same tattoo. Instead, we are going to use a different one for right now. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go around and find that tattoo. But just for the sake of time, so you can see what I do. I do this with every one of your wrestlers. Most of the wrestlers that I download do not have, just look at this real quick, does not have face scans. Oh, that's interesting. I don't like it on you, but that's interesting tattoo. Hold on. We're going to find, wait, maybe. I don't think this one can be, yeah. Because that one's so small, it can't be that big. Okay. Where'd she go? Where did she go? I was like, I like this one. There. I'm going to use this one right now for now. Now see down here how it's tearing? It's what's called tearing right there. We don't want it to tear. Not like that. There we go. Okay, there we go. Centered. That's fine right there. That doesn't look bad. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to look at the arm tattoos and I see what you're going after. So what I want is you need an image like this. And what we're going to do is we'll come in. I need a longer type image. Something like this. And then I'm going to hit R3. Now you see right here, if I go up any higher than that, it disappears up top. Okay. Now we're going to take the opacity. I'm going to take that down. So I don't want it super, yeah, to about 94, like right there. That looks like a tattoo for real now. Then I'm going to go again, but with a different image. And realize in the game, you don't really see these images. Like, it's not a thing. Like, people are like, oh, I wanted 17 skulls. It means that it doesn't matter what it means. Now, look at this. I use this one a lot on the inside of the arm because it's skinny. So we're going to take this, come down here. We're going to hit R3 again, but now I'm going to bring it in. We're going to calm it down a little bit. And in this particular case, we're going to have to turn it upside down. I don't want it jacking. With your current tattoo too much. Little, not too much. Close enough for government work. Okay? Now, what we would also usually do is there's different tattoos that we could use. Yeah, guys, it's funny. I have over 1,600 hours on this game. Not in like, oh, of all time. In this game all by itself, just 2K24. It's a lot. What's funny, when it started, I had a full-time job. So now there's things, and I usually like this one, we can bring up here. And I don't want it like just tearing into stuff, but if I wanted it to come up and above, I could take this and now I've got that. Now, you don't always need the tattoos to go up that high, right? So that's what I would do with one arm right away. Like that's immediate. And I would do the same to the other arm, but I'm running out of time. But what I want to show you is the next thing I would do for reels. For reels is the first thing I would do. See that? There's no face scan. So, there's certain things that look right and wrong on face scans. And the face scan that we're going to use, especially if you have a body this big, you need a head that's big. Like the other head that's too small. Doesn't look right. This makes you look like stronger. It matches the body a lot better. And then we're going to go into photo capture faces. I download 1 metric crap ton of photo capture faces. Now, I don't know what any of you guys look like. So Raymond, are you white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Greek, mystical, unicorn? Like, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what it is, but what do you want your wrestler to be? You can see I've got all kinds of face scans. Oh, mine too. This is as short as this gets, right? But normally, like I've got, so I'm with you. You're not going to do a real face scan. I'm going to use another face. But again, white, black, Asian, Hispanic, Greek, French Orthodox, purple unicorn. Doesn't matter. But what do you want your wrestler to be? Yeah, none of these are my real face scans. I download these off the thing. Black. Okay. And that's part of it. I kind of, let's try this one. My dogs are like on another level. Lay down and stop with the BS. Come on. Bark Squad. Okay. So when we're doing the face scan, what you have to line up is, I'm going to smash some dogs here in a second. The eyes and the mouth, and not the whole mouth, the lips, like right where they split. That's a trick to doing this. Okay. See how we got the whites of the eyes just coming off right there? We bring them in just a little. We get that lined up there. We just need it close. So there. Bam. Head size is fine. Next thing I do is I go to the skin color pickup. And look how it blends a lot better right there. We have an issues down here with the way that face scan is, but we're going to find ways to get around it. Now we go to the facial region. We look at the eyebrows. We can do it individually, but this one's lining up pretty well. Okay, that's fine. The eyes. Just kind of lining it up. And here's where people make the mistakes. They're looking at the picture. Don't look at the picture. I only look at the picture to see what thing I'm on, but don't look at the picture. That's not the thing that's helping you create this, get this face scan in the right way. Okay, nose. Okay, right about there. Big guy, so we gotta want to keep it wide. You can see where the side of the nose of the face scan is there, so that's close. Close. Hold on, bottom of the nose. I always bring it down a little bit. Okay, hold on. Now, let's look at this. It's like a happy medium in here. It's a problem with the thing. Let's bring this in just a little bit. Okay. Now, gotta get that right. You want it all on the line. Okay, good to go. Now, in this case, we already know that he's not, he's going to have on face paint, right? So, but it still changes the way he looks. Now, I see what we did with the eyes. I wouldn't have done it. I would have did something different. Because it's not a mask, even if I did, even if you did that, I would still have that. I would still, because it's too weird. That's still freaky. Yeah, I mean, that's still freaky out. Yeah. Now, here's something super cool. You've got the hair, right? Like the hair. You can go with hair dye, right? Let's say, so we can see it. Well, let's not even say that. Let's say green. Probably about that. Yeah. You could do, with the hair dye, you could actually come down and dye your beard if you wanted to. See how there's beard dye in there? Not saying you had to, I'm just saying we're not going to accept that, so that won't be safe, but you could. Everything else for now is good. Now, looking at the clothes. So, here's one of the classic mistakes, and I made this one for years. Go in here, edit. You have the. There we go. We want it right there. Your drop shadow, look at what you can do. You come down here to opacity. Not that. You come down here to this, and if you were really going to set this up, right, we would want it to come to about here. About right there. Bring it over a little bit more, bring it up a little bit. It's fine where it's at, but again, we were going to drop shadow. Come back over to here, 57 and 59 roughly. Okay. I like it. Now, the thing with the nice thing about this is because you have gloves on, you can kind of get away with the tattoos being off at the bottom of your character. To be fair, I really, personally don't like the face paint. I mean, you can't have it. That's not what I'm saying. But not that face paint anyway. It's too, see, that's different. That's different. I don't like, see, like that one. I don't like that one. I don't like that one. For the, feel I think you're trying to go for. Ooh. See, now that you have a face scan, red, green, and that yellow. Okay, let's try. Okay. Red. Then this yellow. Okay. And then this. For now, let's leave it black. It could go either way. It could go with the yellow too. Okay. Now, the thing that we would have to do with the head, is, you see, we have this line right here, right up underneath the collarbone from the face scan. So what could we do? No, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to help you out too, brother. Anything to help out. Now, you could put a tattoo right across the chest right there. Or what kind of... See, what's funny about this, it's got to be the right length. Oh, that'd be cool to come out with. Now let's put this on there. Let's make the color yellow. Okay, now the only way to fix this face scan a little bit is if we... There's got to be... Well, hold on. No, it's not doing it. Let's see if we can find not something huge either. That's why we're called the Bark Squad, if you guys didn't know. Hold on, I got an idea. My ideas don't always work, though, so we'll see. Bear with me. But this is going to fix, this will fix it. Hold on. See if I can make this work. See, now you can't tell. Oh, and that's awesome. Especially with the way that one necklace lays right on that dagger. And then when I fix the other side. What's going on, Agent Dustin? Welcome to the stream. So he won't be ready. We won't have you ready to debut in the next one on Thunder, but you will be debuting on Nitro. We will get you debuting on Nitro. But guys, that is going to do it. I can hear dinner is ready. I know it's a matter of time now before my wife is like, better get in here. And Mrs. McGoats runs the show. You know what I mean? She's the controller of the food. But yeah, no, this is gonna, this will be good. The other thing that I do too, just so you guys know and you guys can see it, let's save that for now. Let's go into body, heavyweight. That's not what I'm trying to do. might be this one. I think that's the one we need, to be fair. 251, I like it. 6 foot. We can do a lot of stuff with that. That's even better for what's going to happen. Oh, yeah. And see, you kind of look at the things and you can see, I see exactly what he's going for. Now, I bet you if I go into his movesets, this is the last thing I want to do so you guys can see. You guys only get one finisher in the WWE. I've got a spreadsheet that's got all the finishers written down on it. It's good for you to put 5 down and in the order you want them. And you will get the first one that's available. But I can tell what type of wrestler you're trying to be by the finishers you have chosen. And I will mastercraft your moveset, or you won't win in the WCW. That's the other part. It's tough to win in the WCW if your moveset's not mastercrafted, because everybody else's movesets are mastercrafted. You know what I mean? So let's go in here. Let's just look real quick. He's not done. We're going to be done for tonight, but everybody starts between 82 and 88. But if you go in here, just let's look at the finisher. So End of Days is not available. I'm going to come up with a better finisher for you. It'll be like the End of Days, but not. Because again, all the move sets are unique. So that'll take longer, but I get it. Next thing I look at is springboards. Smart. You don't want heavyweights doing springboards. Like that is close to. No way. Heavyweight's not doing that. This one, maybe. I don't know. But I get it. So, but guys, that is going to do it for us here. Remember, drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any time we go live. Share the video. I will keep working on that character for you, Raymond. It's a great start. So, I mean, a lot of the work is done. Now it's just going in and tweaking things, you know what I mean? So that does make it a lot easier, but still probably going to put about an hour, 2 hours into your character as well. We'll get it all lined up with the universe. Again, like I say, it's not going to be ready for tomorrow, but it will be ready. Next thing we're going to do, tomorrow we will have a Thursday Thunder, and then on Saturday or Sunday we're going to do a podcast, and the podcast is going to be about 2K25 exclusively. So yeah, the upcoming things, you are going to get some unfettered what I think of what's going on. The rumors and the other crap that's out there, like your Totes Uncut might even be able to get Solo on, might be able to get Blazed on as well, so that'll be cool. But anyways, guys, really appreciate everything you do. Every single one of you guys out there, really appreciate you. I appreciate you, Sped. Sped's made a lot of things happen. Sam Shaw, Digital Dogs, that's another one. He does a lot of stuff. And so all the donations, guys, you're about to see somewhere between the 24th and 27th of January. It will get to the house, and I will show you if it is the right quality. Throughout the year, we will have it'll be cool. It'll be cool. It'll be super cool. And then we'll make a big deal out of it, and then we'll try to get actually Fandu belts to possibly sponsor us as well, so so we can do it even more. But yeah, it'll be super cool. But guys, appreciate everything you guys do. Glad I got a chance. I didn't think I was going to get to today. Some things happened with our schedule and they got moved around, but we got to do it. So appreciate all of you guys, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Peace.